Reddit, what's the worst gift you've ever received? Not me, but my mom was a first grade teacher. She got home with all the teacher gifts her students had given her. I was looking through them, and as a crappy preteen middle schooler I was a dong when I found a little box with rocks in it. My mom, in a even tone, told me that kid was the sweetest kid in class and had no money. Pretty much only food she got was school lunches and breakfasts. She saw all the kids giving my mom the teacher gifts they brought that morning. So, she found a box and during recess collected pretty stones to give to my mom. Fricked right in the feels, man. The opposite of this, the best gift I've ever gotten was the sense of security I got when I first signed up for Dashlane. Dashlane can be your one-stop shop for your digital identity by managing all of your passwords so you don't have to keep track of all of them. They also keep your personal info and financials secure, making your digital life safe. Dashlane works across all platforms including all Apple products, PCs, Android, Safari and Chrome. Dashlane also has a secure autofill feature that works for personal information and credit cards, saving you time when shopping online, a VPN to prevent prying eyes from tracking what you're doing, and so much more. My favorite feature that Dashlane offers is complex password generation. It's always hard for me to make and remember complex passwords, but Dashlane makes it so easy to be secure. Go to dashlane.com Updoot to get Dashlane for free on your first device. Whoa, now I want to try it out. Once my uncle gave me an expired fire extinguisher for Christmas. I tried to shoot it when I got home since it wasn't safe to keep anyway and it was empty. For my 11th birthday, my grandma gave me several used and stained pairs of my younger cousin's tighty whities underwear, and those little wreaths you put on candles at Christmas time. My birthday isn't near Christmas. It was a memorable one. When I was 10, a family friend asked what I wanted for Christmas. I was tactful enough to tell her, whatever, it doesn't matter. She said, what about Legos? I was like, wow, that would be great, thanks. She gave me a copy of Tiffany's Book of Table Manners. Apparently I did something to pee her off at dinner, still not sure what. Received a digital picture frame for Christmas from my boyfriend at the time. 2 years into our relationship, turned it on, and it had pictures of him and his ex loaded on it. Regifting fail. For a Secret Santa I received 2 of those free promotional tickets to the Science Museum that had already expired. My mom gifted me toothpaste for winning this competition one year. It wasn't something big, it was at church, but still. I didn't even want to do it, but she really wanted to, so I entered. In the end she gave me 8 tubs of toothpaste like those you'd buy in bulk at Costco. I was really baffling when I saw that, and she happily took it back, saying, if you don't want it, I'll have it. Yes, she's a terrible gift giver. When I was born my grandma gave me a bikini size 10. She never gave me another present after that, because she claims my parents were ungrateful bastards. A $20 gift card that only had $3.67 on it. My girl's sister had a miscarriage around Thanksgiving last year or the year before. Her C of the mill got her baby clothes. We all just sat there glaze-eyed while the sister choked back tears. My grandmother got my 14-year-old brother an NSYNC CD. He was not into them at all. At the time he was really into R&B and rap. Apparently she went to some music store and asked the guy what kind of music 14-year-old boys liked, and for some reason the dude handed her an NSYNC CD. My brother is the most polite kid on the planet, so he thanked her and tried to put it away so he could return it. Nope. Grandma grabbed it back from him and opened it up. His face got redder as she tore the plastic off. She was dancing to NSYNC and was like, wow, I can see why you like them so much, as I bit my tongue to keep from laughing. Got to hand it to my brother. He was super polite and thankful and never once let on that he was disappointed. And he was able to sell the CD to some girl he knew in school. My wife's grandparents didn't like me, possibly because we were living together before we got married. One Christmas, maybe the one we were engaged, I don't remember, they gave me a package marked Ed, which is not my name. It held a large old-fashioned portfolio-sized wallet, you know, the kind about the size of a shoe, leather, with a large bison embossed on the front. The bison was anatomically correct and appeared to be having a personal moment. I received a goldfish for my 22nd birthday, without anything to put it in or feed it. Not a present I received, but for our office random gift exchange I bought a wall outlet that can be turned on with a remote. I thought it was a great idea for your Christmas tree or Christmas lights. The lady who got it came over to my desk and complained about getting it and how useless it was and how somebody was probably re-gifting it. I later heard her talking to another employee asking who they thought had brought it and they told them it was me. Very awkward. When I was 8, the day after Thanksgiving, this huge box shows up in our living room next to the tree. It was as tall as the ceiling, and maybe 6 inches thick. Every day it taunted my older bro and I. We would beg to just know but parents wouldn't budge. Christmas morning, typically the best big gift is opened last, but dad implored us to open it first, since we had been so curious about it. We laid it down so fast and started opening it, and was confused and angered to see my parents had bought us rakes. Yes, lawn rakes. We had just moved into a new house the year before which required yard work. One particular day, our parents sent us outside to rake the leaves, and we fought over who got to use the nice rake, and who had to use that metal one that didn't even do anything and sucked. So you better believe they had written our names in permanent marker on our individualized rakes so that could never happen again. I'm obviously still not over it. I went on a cruise in the Caribbean and brought my dad back a bottle of spice rum with the spices in the bottle. A couple of months later, my dad regifted me the exact same bottle for my birthday. He gave me this whole spiel about where he found it and how special it was. I waited until he was done to remind him where he actually got it. At our holiday gift exchange in 2nd grade, I got a used Halloween magazine. All pages colored, crosswords and puzzles done. I had my mum out shopping the previous Saturday for cool Hot Wheels and a nice Barbie for the 2 lucky kids who got my gifts. I once got a really nice sweater from my dad. The only problem with it was a sweater that I had already bought and ordered. My dad actually intercepted my mail and found the sweater, repackaged it, and then gave it to me as a gift 3 weeks later. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for the gift of inconvenience. A carton of cat food. I don't have a cat. Just preparing you for your future. When I was 7, I was at Christmas at my dad's parents', my grandparents' house with my 2 cousins, who were of similar age to me. They both got fancy bikes. I got a knockoff Barbie, it was a doll that was similar to a Barbie, but not the name brand, in a package that still had the $5.99 price tag attached. I was out of town for a few days for work and got a text from my wife as I was pulling into the neighborhood that there was a surprise for me waiting outside. I pulled up to see a gorgeous, fully restored 1957 Chevy 3100 sitting in my spot. I couldn't believe it. I'd been looking for a pickup and my wife knew I liked classic cars, but this was insane. Just as I got out of my car to check it out, my son's friend and his dad who was coming to pick him up in his 57 Chevy walked off my porch. My youngest came outside and said, "Daddy, do you like your surprise?" and pointed to a welcome home dad drawing he had taped to the door. I have never felt worse in my life for trying to play up a scribbled drawing as the best surprise ever. I can't say I didn't love his surprise and I definitely can't say it was a bad gift, but it definitely was the biggest misconception of all time. When I was 11 or 12 I got 3 separate cheap travel shaving kits from one Christmas gathering. I didn't have any facial hair or anything, so the third one was my worst gift ever. I received a pine cone from a sister that doesn't really like me. My friends and I pass it around every year. No one knows when it's their turn but we all know it's coming soon. A still warm McChicken sandwich for Christmas. My brother forgot to buy any of the family a present so he made a pit stop to McDonald's on the way to dinner. Tried to pass it off as a joke. I love my dad dearly, but one Christmas he got me the Eagles' Heck Freezes Over, which is I guess a live Eagles reunion concert. Throughout my life I had expressed zero interest in the Eagles. I don't hate them. I just have no interest in them, so the gift was pretty baffling, but whatever. The very next Christmas, I go to open a small, DVD-shaped package, and it is the exact same freaking DVD. I thought it was a prank at first, but his earnest expression means he had literally no recollection of buying it for me the year before. So now I have 2 of these freaking things that I can't throw away because they are gifts, and I know my dad meant well. My mom is the worst gift giver. In high school, I talked about one of those dinosaur belly piggy banks that our friend had. Not frequently, just once maybe twice. The next Christmas, my present is a piggy bank. Specifically, one with my brother's name on it that had been sitting in the kitchen for months. I put it back. She also gives other wonderful things such as one of a pack of 4 hair clips that she proudly exclaims her shrewdness for, since she got a discount deal on presents for 4 people. I was a tomboy who never wore accessories. Another, she once told me she got 2 jackets and asked me to pick one out so she could take the other. I picked one. She said, "Oh, that's the one I wanted," then proceeded to swap them from within my closet weeks later. But honey, I look so much cuter in that than you do. A plastic replica of a glass Coke bottle. Not me but my cousin. He was opening a gift from Gmar, face full of excitement as he pulled the sweatshirt out. What was excitement quickly turned to dismay as it was the exact same sweatshirt he was wearing. She nailed his taste at least. I have 3 worst gift experiences, all courtesy of my cheap ass grandmother. For Christmas when I was 10, she gave me a 2.5 pounds fruitcake in a tin. That sounds bad enough, but besides the fact that she gave a fruitcake to her 10-year-old, she happily told me that she had actually ordered me a 5-pound fruitcake, but because they were out of stock in that size, she was given 2.5 pounds fruitcakes instead, and wasn't that great because now she could keep one for herself. Ugh. For my 13th birthday she gave me 2 polo shirts, one in a men's large and the other in an extra large. At the time I was probably 5 feet 5 inches and 120 pounds. As an adult now, I'm 5 minutes and 10 seconds and 170 pounds, and those shirts still wouldn't come close to fitting me. But she again gleefully told me how she got them on the clearance rack at Macy's so they barely cost her anything. For my 15th birthday she gave me a card with a $20 bill in it. After I opened it, she said she only wanted to give me $10 but didn't have a bill smaller than a 20. Then she asked if I had change so I could give her $10 back. A pack of 3XL panties from my grandmother when I was, at best, a M-sized 13-year-old girl. Bonus. Last winter I learned this same grandmother has given all the grandkids a $5 bill for Christmas every year for the past 20-some years. Except, of course, to me. A monogram shirt. Both the middle initial and size were wrong. When I was 23 I found out I was pregnant. My boyfriend proposed and we were happily married 5 months later. On my 24th birthday, my well-off grandmother sent me a card in the mail with a note stuck inside that said, "I know you were expecting your usual birthday check, but this year I decided since you were old enough to get pregnant out of wedlock and further embarrass me by eloping, then you're old enough to understand what a budget is, and this year you don't fit into mine." She came around once our son was born. That was 13 years ago, and she has since passed, but I will always remember that birthday wedding gift. My grandmother gave me a pineapple, wrapped in newspaper. She told me that if she were to use real gift wrapping paper, she would have to deduct the cost from the real gift. I don't remember what she got my brother that year, if it was the stereo, the Discman, or the safe, or which one of those. I got a little red plastic bucket. I do remember not being the favorite grandchild though. On a class secret Santa, I received a mug from a classmate. It had those brown circles inside, which are left by tea. Also, the inside of it was scratched, and I found a similar one later in a nearby grocery shop for about $1. I didn't even get some sweets or something with it, just the mug in a paper satchel. Birthday present from a great aunt, Thesaurus, with a sticker that had my name on it. Check for $3. She set a $20 gift limit for you and the Thesaurus was only $17. My grandmother was super excited to give me a Sweet 16 gift. It was a 3-pack of self-tanning lotion. I'm a super white girl and she got the darkest tanning lotion available. She told me that I needed to get in the sun more often. This is a few months after she was diagnosed with melanoma. My son received the worst gift ever from my wife's parents. My mill had bought both kids some chocolates and was gonna put $50 inside for them to pick out whatever they wanted. She wrapped my daughters and left my sons out for my fill to do. Since he ignores most things people say, he ended up pocketing the $50 and eating the chocolates and putting the wrappers inside the box. The next morning my mil sees the unwrapped box with no cash and assumes the cash is inside. She wrapped the box of trash and gave that to my son for Christmas. Worst gift was kind of a double whammy. From September, my birthday, to December of 1997, I begged and begged for an N64. I'm owed our lawn, our neighbor's lawn, and my aunt's lawn more times than they even needed it to try and save up, but didn't quite make enough. A week or two before Christmas, we saw a bundle in a pawn shop that came with tons of games and 4 controllers for a great price. It seemed as though I had convinced them that, with the money I saved up and the rest covered by them, it might actually happen. We didn't buy it that day. On Christmas, I was the happy child who got to open a tube of toothpaste. No crap at all. A tube of toothpaste. I think there were a couple of toys also, but when you are gifted a tube of toothpaste for Christmas, it's about all you remember. To top it off, my parents decided to rub salt in the wound and tell me that they went back to buy me the N64, but it had already been purchased by some other lucky kid's parents. Apparently a tube of toothpaste was the next best thing. My brother gave me a stack of Xerox paper one year for my birthday. I was 5 and obsessed with all things Barbie. I'm pretty sure my birthday cake was a Barbie in icing. My grandma followed suit with the theme and bought me a Barbie, a collector's edition Barbie. I go to open the packaging and my grandma instantly says no. It's a collector's edition. You don't open it, you hold on to it and it will be worth money later. So my mom stored the Barbie in my closet and it was my shining beacon of self-control to not rip it open. 20 years later and the Barbie is worth a whole $5 on eBay. My childhood suffering was for nothing. Kindling wrapped in a nice green yarn bow. I was 12. One year my grandma gave everyone a framed photo of herself for Christmas. 1. It was a professional headshot. 2. She was and is not close to death, as far as anyone can tell. It's a toss-up between 2 gifts I've received from my in-laws. A sheath for a pocket knife, with no knife, or a single piece of Tupperware. Last Christmas, every girl in my family got a handmade Afghan blanket from my grandma. These are my favorite, and everyone knows it, so when they got handed out I was so excited. I got a card with a $25 gift card in it. I don't believe anyone owes me anything, so I'm not too mad. But it was certainly disappointing. My family is huge, so I was the only one of about 16 girls in my family. For my high school graduation, my mom put down money on a 3-day trip to Mexico. I was super stoked as I'd studied Spanish for 5 or 6 years at that point and had never been able to travel much. Sadly, my mom got scammed and that trip never happened. I've still never been to Mexico either. Thanks again to our sponsor for this video, Dashlane. Make sure to use our link and try it for yourself today.